Welcome to Create Income with or Without a Job. I'm Jamila Harris, your Create Income coach. And we are thrilled to be joined today by one of the most extraordinary women entrepreneurs and friends. And her name is Dr. Marilyn Brathwaite Hall. Dr. Marilyn Hall, thank you so much for being with us.
Good afternoon. It is my pleasure. I'm always excited to assist and connect with anything that you're in the midst of, Jamila. So thank you so much, and good afternoon to the listening audience and viewing audience.
Well, I'm really excited about them getting to know you and receiving from your amazing gift that you have for personal coaching and assisting us to literally travel through adversity and uncertainty and with some sense of, resurrection and redemption and self-care. If you'll allow me one moment, I would like to share your background with our viewing audience. Dr. Marilyn Brathwaite Hall is a certified personal coach and consultant who brings an integrated perspective to counseling, personal coaching, and psychoeducation. Dr. Hall conducts coaching to assist individuals to restore mental wellness and transform their lives after suffering mental, physical, and emotional trauma. Adversity in her personal life experiences have anchored Dr. Hall's deep appreciation for the transforming power of the human spirit through triumphs, traumas, and brokenness. Dr. Hall earned her bachelor's degree from Tufts University and an EDM from Harvard University, and further specialized in counseling psychology through study at Northeastern University and a postdoctoral fellowship at Georgia State University. Dr. Marilyn Brathwaite Hall co-hosts a weekly radio show and podcast, Wellness Wednesdays, where she coaches and inspires individuals to restore well-being after the trauma of Hurricanes Irma and Maria in 2017. She is the mother of two daughters, Sakile and Kiamsha, and wife of David Hall, president of the University of the Virgin Islands. So we are delighted to have with us today Dr. Marilyn Brathwaite Hall. And Marilyn, I just want to help us to introduce you more personally to our viewers. You are one of those people who is literally using your own personal experiences and your natural talents, gifts, and abilities in a unique way that has evolved into your profession as a professional personal coach. Just share whatever you'd like to about your background that led you here.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you again so much, Jamila, for the opportunity to share. So I think what's important is it's always useful to begin from at least the beginning. Context matters, right? Where you come from helps to direct the path and the way. So by birth, I am a Jamaican woman born on the island of Jamaica up in the country. So my beginnings and origins come from a rural background with no electricity or running water as a child. Part of my story then evolves from the immigrant journey for many who may be listening and viewing as my parents went to the United States in the mid to late 60s to find that better way. Our perception of the land of milk and honey, you go pick the money off the trees and just take big cups of that, those honey that we perceive to be the case. So I'm an immigrant child and evolved from being in the islands, growing up with my grandmother until the age of about 5, until my parents sent for us and my other sister. And so the journey of an immigrant child into a place that was new and different, experiencing cold for the first time, snow for the first time, adjusting to this norm that was different from what I had known, living in the city in, at the time, Brooklyn, feeling the reality of the gaze and the response to others with a thick accent that I had. So this journey of overcoming transition of space and place through different ways of being and living is something that has been my story and my reality. I come from a background of hardworking individuals and parents, both Jamaican parents, who did the best that they could to try to create that life, that American dream life. And yet in the midst of all of that, there were difficulties within our own family story, from divorce and physical abuse. My mother remarried later on in life, and I have a very long-term reality of emotional, physical, sexual trauma, all of those things that were part of my early beginning and evolving in life. And what I began to understand over time, and I would say to others who either have a story that is similar to mine or understand the reality of life changing and throwing you challenges that you did not expect, you didn't plan, you didn't bring into your being, that there's still hope, that there's still the reality on the other side. And so for me, it was through education, through my mind, through the power of the spirit, through the gift of my cultural heritage, all of those things over time became the anchor through my life that I began to move through. And so education became an anchor. Growing to love myself was an important other anchor. Using therapeutic supports, counselors was an important anchor. And the power of my own spiritual growth, all of those things combined to provide this woman that is speaking to you right now with all of those achievements through academia and through a variety of professional and lived experience. I understand what transition means, what trauma feels like, and what the overcoming resilience building process means for individuals. Because the power of the human spirit is a thing that never ultimately, we can't quantify, but the quality of it with support, coaching, external and internal work, we are quite possible of way, way more than we can ever begin to think or imagine. So that's an encapsulated version. And I hope that in some ways, those who are listening can sort of capture some of the nuggets and perhaps hear their story in my own story.